Are you okay?
I don't know.
Okay, did you call the police yet?
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna call an advocate and you can tell us both at the same time, okay?
Hey, Sarah, your dad told me that you need help.
So, is there anything that I need to do, or...?
Just focus on getting better.
With an advocate on your side, you're never alone.
Today's the day! And look who I just met.
Hey, Dad.
You deserve a worry-free recovery. You deserve an advocate.
This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show, live on your YouTube machine, Friday, November 1st. Jeez Louise, it is November. You hear that little quiver in the voice? You know it's coming. It's winter. It's November. The roads are going to be worse. If you find yourself in an accident, there's only one place to go, theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business. At theadvocates.com, you never pay a penny out of pocket. No, sir. You don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case, and it is Giving Friday right here on the Monty Show. What does that mean for you? That means that we are working with the advocates to feed hungry children on Thanksgiving. We talked about it the other day when we had Rob Adams from Thanksgiving Heroes on. 1 in 6 kids in this country is hungry. They do not know where their next meal is coming from. The advocates and Thanksgiving Heroes are partnering together to make sure that families have the food they need to provide for their kids on Thanksgiving. We are asking you today, in lieu of memberships, in lieu of super chats, hit them on Venmo right now. Advocates donations on Venmo. Advocates donations on Venmo. We will give away a $50 Amazon gift card today to one of our donations. And again, we don't want to do this based on dollar amounts because not everybody is able to give the same amount. If you can give $5, $100, $500, great. The memo section is going to win the day today. You have to make your donation on Venmo and then send Jake on Snapface. Really, it's Instagram. SLC Jake. Now, we've already had ridiculousness in the comments section because Loner Phone, as per usual, I don't know what Loner Phone, I know life can be hard. He says, I tried sending receipts to your Instagram account. It's on private. No, it's not. SLC Jake. SLC Jake on Instagram. It is not private. It's not private.
Like, it hasn't been private, never been private. Like,
well, that one
else,
thing with you and that you're the guy in the
like,
nudes.
It just
that was 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Other than that, it hasn't been you and James.
Bruh.
You guys got caught in that APF under the bleacher or IPF, excuse me, under the bleachers. Boy, APF, how about that? IPF under the bleachers, like,
right.
But that was 10 minutes. You
right.
and James,
right?
It's stadium guys.
Hot ass.
Okay, probably too much on a family show. SLC Jake, send Jake the receipt of your Venmo. The memo section wins the day. Be creative. Do not be vulgar. Attorneys are going to read that.
Yes.
Do not be vulgar. Do not be vulgar. But on Giving Friday, make sure you hit them up on Venmo. 1 in 6 kids is hungry. It doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to live our lives that way. We do not have to do that. Hit them up on Venmo. Loner Phone, appreciate the $100. Dev MC, hello. Mr. Preston, hello. Jay Chapman says, I don't think there should be any official CF polls put out till November. Well, I don't know what CF means. Do you mean college fantasies? I don't know what that what is. Okay. Maury Alvarez, our great Floridian this morning. Hello. Hope life in Florida is good. Matt Ritson, hello. John Dry, hello. Mad Cat, hello. Good to see you guys here this morning. The stadium guy, James, who Listen, I'm all for supporting everybody's YouTube channel. Don't watch James' YouTube channel.
Google me.
It's not good. And this is the IPF. And if you look,
Bro, be nice.
if you look,
be nice.
There's a Bucky's barbecue sandwich on the ground. Let's go eat it.
Be nice.
James does a great job taking his cell phone and pointing it through fences so that he can show you the new IPF being built in Austin. The newest video on his channel.
Yes.
James, the stadium guy.
I got the YouTube TV.
He does a great job with it. He really does. I'm only breaking balls.
Bulls.
Because that's what we do.
Bulls.
On this show. Jake's a good dude. Yeah. How did it go under the bleachers at the IPF? Would like to play golf with him one day. Yes, the whole goal with Jake is to put the ball in the hole. That's all you got to do. When you're with Jake, if you can get the ball in the hole, it's going to be a good day. Golf. Yeah, that's what golf's about. You know, I'd like to play golf with him one day. Okay.
Can we do it from the IPF?
What kind of shafts you guys shoot? I'm a terrible person. San Diego State Glenn, Steely Matt, Jay Chapman. I agree. It's funny. I do agree that it is funny. So we are off to a great start this morning on Giving Friday. Let's talk football. Before we get to the Ohio State playing. Before we talk Ohio State football, because I think that is by far the game of the week. Here's a question for you. Did Aaron Rodgers save the New York Jets last night? So again, Jake usually comes into the studio and makes an outlandish statement to start the day.
Right.
Jake said that Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer and the greatest quarterback of his generation.
Yeah, that's not true.
Jake hates Aaron Rodgers. And I say my question is, Jake, did Aaron Rodgers save their season last night with the touchdown to Garrett Wilson and then Devontae Adams? I think that went a long way to saving their season is probably rich, but that went a long way to getting them into the playoffs.
Yeah, I suppose.
Opinion.
I mean,
or at least making the road.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
the
they
playoffs.
had to win that game to have any chance. I mean,
that's chance at all.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty clear. But I think, look, my biggest problem is not necessarily Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback. I think the guys had to deal with a lot of adversity with the Achilles. Like, there's been a lot that's gone on. My biggest issue is that this guy wants to consistently off the field talk about, cayenne pepper and water and drinking from the fountain of youth. And he wanted to tell us he was going to come back from, a full Achilles tear in 4 months, which nobody's ever done and is basically impossible.
And he didn't do.
It's just the list of stuff that Aaron Rodgers does that's obnoxious and just over the top is endless. And it really bothers me because he has an opportunity as the quarterback of that team and really the face of that franchise to be a leader and to sort of help them get to where everybody wants to go, which is obviously the playoffs and then obviously the Super Bowl. So I just don't understand why Aaron has to make this so difficult. Why turn this into a thing where we got to talk about darkness retreats and you got to go on Pat's show and you got to, it's just this whole like facade, if you will. It's this whole front that just burns me out. It makes it unenjoyable to watch the Jets. I'm watching the Jets. And first of all, it needs to be said, can the NFL not give us a better Thursday night matchup? Can I not get a better game than Jets and Texans? Like, I understand in the preseason, the Jets were supposed to be, everyone's All-American and the best team we'd ever seen. But the NFL has the ability to manipulate schedules mid-season. So I want Thursday night to be better, number one. But number two, I want Aaron Rodgers to stop talking about random off-the-wall stuff. And I want him to start going out and winning more football games. And yes, you won last night. That's great. That happened. Everything's awesome. Go out and do it 5 more times, and then we can talk.
I'm so upset about the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I'm so
Jake
tired
texted
of
me
hearing
last
about it,
night.
bro.
Jake texted me last night while I'm handing out candy to small children. We got to talk about Halloween. I don't believe that adults should trick or treat. I'm sorry, you should not be trick or treating. Anyway, while we go to the Jets, I'm trying to hand out Haribo gummy bear bags. And Jake is texting me, this game sucks. Why is everything terrible on Thursday night? And I'm like, this game is actually really good. That Garrett Wilson makes one of the catches of the year. Devontae Adams, concussed and all, catches a touchdown. Malachi Corley still has not been cut for dropping the ball before it was over the goal line. This is quintessential Jets. It is the pain of New York.
What are you, nuts?
Tell me that you didn't think they were losing that game when Corley dropped that ball.
So glad we're being blessed with this Thursday night football matchup is what I texted you.
You were so red ass about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good game. I am also going to say I'm incredibly disappointed in the Houston Texans. I feel like this team, off of what we saw last year, I had really high hopes for the Houston Texans. That offensive line is arguably the worst offensive line in that division and maybe in the AFC. And CJ Stroud looks like a guy who cannot operate because of it.
Massive backslide.
I think that, yes. I think that is a huge talking point out of whatever that terrible game you hated so much on Thursday Night Football was.
Agreed.
But I also think the New York Jets may have saved their season last night. And for everybody who came in here a couple of weeks ago when I said, hey, Bobby Saleh got fired. Hey, Bobby got fired because the Jets defense was not good enough. Are we not watching one of the worst run defenses in the NFL? How are the Jets this bad against the run? And I know that they won. We probably should be celebrating ayahuasca and crapping yourself in dark holes. Totally get that. But their defense is not good enough. They should be elite. That should be the best defense in that AFC. Currently, as the AFC is constructed. How are you not a better defense than the Ravens? I think you have better secondary talent. You're faster. Your linebackers on paper are just as good as that crew that Baltimore runs out there. Yet, you can't stop the run. And I'll just ask for everybody on the show, why did you stop giving the ball to Joe Mixon if you're the Texans? That's something I do not understand.
We just overthink the hell out of football.
The
reality,
I don't disagree with that.
Bro, the reality
I don't disagree with
that it's like whether we're talking about, we obviously had, over the past couple of weeks, we talked a lot about the Browns and their running game situation and the quarterback situation. So whether it was that, whether it's the Texans, you look around the league and it's like, dude, why are we not just turning around, handing it off and imposing our will? Oh, I know. Because you have one of the worst offensive lines in football and you can't run the football. That's why you're not doing it. And so CJ Stroud is the guy getting his ass beat in the pocket all night, and you wonder why you're not winning ball games.
They ran the Houston, and I think that's a really good point. The offensive line is the worst offensive line in the division, I think. And you still ran on the Jets for 187 yards.
Yeah.
Make that make sense. If you're the Jets, you're going up against a bad offensive line, and they still ran for 187 yards.
Yeah, the math isn't mathing on that one.
100%. And I know I'm terrible at trig algebra in Pythagorean theory and stuff. How does C.J. Stroud throw for 11 of 30 for 191 yards? That's it. That's and they run for 187. I don't understand it. And then on the Jets side of this, I do think they saved their season last night. I know they're 3-6. They're a 500 club at MetLife. I totally understand that. They have everything in front of them, especially in the AFC East. Their schedule is at the Cardinals. You should win that game. Colts, Seahawks, Dolphins, Jags, Rams, and then at the Bills and Dolphins.
You got to win out.
You can, well, I think you, excuse me. I think you can win the division if you win out. because you can't tell me Buffalo is going to play at a 750 clip the rest of the year. Especially when you look at Buffalo, Dolphins, Colts, Chiefs, Niners, at the Rams, at the Lions.
But the Chiefs and the Niners is not the same caliber team that we're used to.
But that game is 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
That is, or for a month away. That's December 1st.
Yeah, we'll see where they're at.
And that game's in Buffalo at Highmark. So there's a chance that the Jets can win this division. They have to win out, to your point.
Yeah.
And Avi, they have got to beat the Bills, and they have absolutely, positively got to beat Miami and New England. You've got to dominate those games, get division wins. I think they have a chance because their road games, the Jets' remaining road games, are at Arizona, who won't survive my beloved Chicago Bears this week, at the Dolphins, at the Jaguars, and then obviously the game of the year for the Jets left is New Year's week at Buffalo. They have a very clear path to the postseason. I think they have to win the division. I think they have a chance to win the division. The Bills right now are the best team in the division, but that's a flawed football team. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that I don't buy that they're going to be able to win out. I just don't buy it.
I would agree with that. Do they make a trade before Tuesday?
They're going to at least try. I mean, making a trade, you need two sides, So I mean, I don't know. I really don't know, because I feel like, like they have enough talent on the roster to do what they need to do, but the question is execution. And I think that it concerns me that, you're talking about a team that was struggling to score points in the first half. Like you're not getting around that. Like everyone's going to leave this game saying they had a great night and everything was awesome, but you didn't score points until late in that game. And I sit here and I say, okay, cool. We finally have a Devontae Aaron Rodgers touchdown. But that offense still seems, kind of clunky.
I would agree.
Still trying to smooth things out.
Which is why the Corley play.
Yeah, is just inexcusable.
Did you see
totally
Malachi Corley runs a good route, runs in for a touchdown. He dropped the ball before he got over the goal line. Jet wide receiver Malachi Corley, and he's still on the team. I'd have cut his ass. I'm not even joking. With all of the cultural issues, with all of the whatever issues, I would have cut him. He would never have seen the field again if I were the New York Jets. You have to, first of all, can we stop dropping the ball before we get in the end zone? Stop. Why are we doing this?
Things.
I've never understood it. I would cut him. Honest to God, he would be gone.
You're talking about a guy in Malachi Corley who doesn't, is not some huge name in the league. Like it, obviously dropping the ball right before the goal line is never ideal. But if Devontae does it, it's an entirely different conversation than if Malachi Corley does it. And I just don't understand. Again, seemingly every week in the league, we have a guy who is just succumbs to the moment, is unable to say, yeah, great, ran a great route. Aaron put it right on me. I caught the ball. Let's run it into the end zone.
You're a rookie from directional Kentucky. You went to Western Kentucky. And you're dropping the ball for your first touchdown?
Your only catch of the night.
I am amazed by it. I am amazed by it. And I find it, this is what's wrong with the Jets.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd cut him.
He would be gone.
Well, for me, I don't know that I would cut him. I think that what I would do is I would discipline him. I would say, hey, you're not seeing the field for a while, and you're going to have to earn your way back. But
Hondo P.
But I think in the NFL, what you can't do is you can't, especially at wide receiver, like he clearly showed you he's got the ability to get open. I think people, grossly underestimate how difficult it is to get open in the league, and he's shown you he can do that.
Big Daddy Magic is in this morning.
Okay.
Did you meet Victor yesterday? Victor Wembanyama. So for those of you who don't know Big Daddy Magic is a massively obsessive. He is just I believe that he would propose to Victor Wembanyama if he could afford a ring.
This is your beloved.
He is that obsessed with Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama was in Salt Lake City last night, and allegedly there was a, Big Daddy Magic tried to kidnap Victor Wembanyama. No, I'm kidding. Did you meet him? He met Greg Popovich. You sent me a picture of you and Greg Popovich last night. Big Daddy Magic DM'd me. Did you meet your guy, Victor? Hey, playa, leave the weed smoking to train professionals. The Jets are not coming to the kingdom of Josh Allen and besmirching sacred ground. Okay. I mean, okay. He says, put the Bills on Thursday Night Football. It will make the NFL great again. Make Josh Allen Mr. Thursday Night. Remember, the Buffalo Bills play Wicked Tuna on Sunday.
Wicked Tuna.
Okay. That's fine.
We have an all-time great comment section on a Venmo donation.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got two donations already on Venmo for the Advocates. We're trying to help the Advocates feed hungry children at Thanksgiving. The first one was yesterday. Do you remember who this is?
I think that's
James Dolaris.
James. Yeah.
Yes. Texas A&M finished their IPF in September. It looks good.
Yes.
Okay, so James went IPF. The first one today.
That's Maury
Alvarez. Whether the season is in peril, I don't know. I do think they lose versus Penn State. Ryan Day may not be here next year.
I'm sorry if you're offended by that.
You put Penn State.
Man,
bro,
dude.
You put Penn State in a memo section to the
Hey, we should probably put names to all these. We're gonna get a lot of donations today, so it's gonna be hard to remember all of them.
Okay, so you're saying this is Maury Alvarez?
That's Maury, yeah. That's Maury Alvarez, which is really well done, dude.
Oh my God, that is fantastic.
This is Dev MC.
Dev MC
at the bottom there. His thing. It's his. Yeah.
Do what I did. Donate to the Advocates and get an average-looking girlfriend, but most like Oak State football. Do what I did and get an average-looking girlfriend.
Bro, if you hadn't listened to the show this week, that poll right there is
incredible.
Oh my
God.
Bro. Absolutely incredible.
What I just said.
From an Oak State fan to drop a ugly wife Oak State James the other day.
Yeah.
Who claims we twisted his words.
Like a pretzel.
This is the alleged twisting of words. Do what I did. Find a woman who can cook like sports. You don't need a hot girlfriend. But I think Maury is probably because he dropped Penn State. P-E-T-O. Penn State. I think he's got to be in the lead there. Holy cow. All right. And we're off to an amazing start.
Excellent start.
Hit us on Venmo, or hit the Advocates on Venmo. Advocates donations right here. Advocates donations.
And by the way, Loner Phone, my Instagram's not private. Just so we're all on the same page.
Have you figured that Instagram out? He said finally was able to post trying for 2 hours. No joke, was losing my mind. Did he send you?
No, I don't have anything from him, man.
Okay. Loner Phone, he didn't get it. So I don't know who you're sending your Venmo stuff to, bro. It's fine. Steely, good morning, Sean and Troy. Hello, Sean. It starts at the top with franchises. The Jets with that franchise, yes. I totally agree with that. 100%. All right, let's get into it with Ohio State, because I do think this game tomorrow, we can come up with a bunch of big adjectives, and we can find a bunch of really big words to use to talk about the importance of Ohio State at the sexual assaulter factory. But I'm telling you now, this is the game of the year. This is arguably Will Howard's biggest game of his career because of what happened at Autzen, because of the outcome and his role in that outcome. I think this is a proving ground for Will Howard. You are on Big Noon Kickoff. You are at Penn State. It is going to be loud and raucous. That place is going to be popping. I think we all know that. And this is a must-win for Ryan Day. On so many levels, this is a must-win for Ryan Day. It's a must-win for Will Howard. It is my biggest question. If Drew Allar plays, can Penn State pressure the Ohio State secondary the way that Oregon did? Is Drew Allar that guy? Now, there is a belief he will play. He's battling a knee injury. I believe he plays. It's a massive game. You have at least got to try and play. If you Drew Allar, that's what they're saying. He's going to give it a go. This is a huge game. But I don't even think that this is about Penn State on any level. This is all on Ohio State. This is the moment. This is the game. This is where we figure out who is Ryan Day as a head coach. Is Ryan Day a guy that you believe can prepare his football team in a do or die situation? Because make no mistake about it, if Ohio State loses this game, their hopes and dreams are dead. You're not going to the college football playoff. You are not playing for a Big Ten championship. The Michigan game is all you have left in front of you. If you lose at Penn State tomorrow, it is everything that you have ever dreamed of, that you have ever wanted in a football game. Ohio State at Penn State, noon Eastern on Fox. I love Ohio State in this game. I'm a big believer in Will Howard, and I am not going to fluctuate in my belief. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. I think he's exactly who you want under center in a game like this. I believe in Caleb Downs in that secondary. I believe in Chip Kelly as a play caller. Jake, I'm all in on Ohio State at Penn State.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, the biggest thing for Ohio State in this game is going to be bouncing back from the Oregon game. With all due respect to their schedule, you played Oregon and you haven't really played anyone else since. And I think that, the things we can't forget leaving the Oregon game are obviously going to be late game execution. But I also think this conversation around Jeremiah Smith and feeding him is a big talking point in this game, because you can't have a situation where you get to a place where they're doubling Jeremiah Smith every time and you're not able to get him the football. And I think that Jeremiah Smith is someone who should be a game wrecker in this game. He should be someone who breaks the back of that Penn State secondary on a pretty regular basis. And it's just going to be a matter of if they can get him the football. And if Ryan Day has done a good enough job preparing his football team on offense to create schemes and sets that provide Jeremiah Smith with a free release. Because I'm telling you, if you're just going to line him up wide left the whole game and you're going to let them play man over the whole game, that's not good enough on offense. It's not good enough. I want to see bunches. I want to see trips formations. I want to see, a lot of creativity to get him open, because he's shown you when you throw him the football, he catches the football. He makes the play. And that to me is the biggest key in this game. And I completely agree. You're playing for your life in this game. You lose this game, your season's over, and Ryan Day probably gets fired, honestly, because you lose this game, you're not going to the college football playoff, in my opinion. And you don't deserve to go to the college football playoff, in my opinion. So to me, I just think that whether it's Will Howard, Ryan Day, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Smith, Quinshon Judkins, whoever you want to look at, all these dudes know that they have to go out and get a job done. And it's Ohio State. They have a reputation for not coming through. And this is a game where I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I really do think if you don't win this game and you don't go to the college football playoff with the roster you have to make a change. You're getting fired.
You have to make a change.
And I think, not only that, I think if you're Will Howard and you can't win this football game and you don't lead your team to victory, that's going to hurt your draft stock big time. If you think people aren't watching this game, if you think people are not, if you think this game's doing anything less than 10 mil, 11 mil, you're crazy.
It is the game of the weekend.
Yeah, everyone's going to be watching this game. So to me, I look at this and I say, okay, Travel's not nearly as arduous with this game. It's right down the street by college football standards. You know the environment you're playing in. It's not a night game. It's a day game. So you really should, the expectation should be that Ohio State's going to go in there and get a victory. That should be the expectation. And anything less than that, and I don't care how they do it. If they got to do it by kicking a late field goal, if they got to do it by getting a defensive stop, whatever it is, go out and get a victory. Nothing less. Anything different is unacceptable.
I think, let's get real about Ryan Day. Has he done a good job at Ohio State? Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Has he done what you needed him to do at Ohio State? No, he is not. And I do believe he's coaching for his job tomorrow. I think his legacy is on the line in this game. I think it is that serious. If you look at the way that he is going about this, and if you look at the way that people are talking about Ryan Day, he's not a bad coach. But doesn't he have to prove that the Oregon game is not who he is? Doesn't he have to prove that he can beat Michigan? Doesn't he have to prove that he can win a national championship? I think he does. And he made all of these changes this year. You bring in a cat like Chip Kelly to be your offensive coordinator, your offensive line, and I understand you're injured, but everybody's injured. Your offensive line has been bad. I think, is it too much to say he is coaching for his job?
No, I don't think it's too much to say that. I think that, the problem is that Ohio State's in a place where people are questioning how good you are. People like as an example, like you can look at a team like Texas is a great example because they lost to Georgia, and the way they lost to Georgia, people were questioning, what went down in that game. And people, the thing that people don't question is, hey, Sark can get to the playoff. He has a super deep roster.
Yep.
Next man up mentality at Texas. If someone gets hurt, another guy's going to step on the field. Nobody questions the quality at Texas. They question the preparedness and the execution against Georgia specifically. But for Ryan Day, I do think people are questioning, like, hey, if you can't beat Oregon and you lost the way you lost, and then you can't beat Penn State, like I'm sorry, I know both of those are on the road, but you're Ohio State. The standard's different. The standard is, essentially, I mean, if we're being honest, the standard's going undefeated every year. I mean, that's really the expectation. People roll out with Ohio State most preseasons and say, okay, you've got 2 games on the schedule. You're going to win those 2. You're going to lose those 2. Because that's what we did this year. That's what everybody did. Yeah. Hey, you've got Oregon and Penn State. You're going to beat those teams because you're going to beat Michigan, if you see them. So,
this game's about Ohio State. And yeah. Listen, I understand Andy Kotelnicki has been a revelation at Penn State. I think he's made Drew Allar a better quarterback. But it's not like Nick Singleton's been the best running back in the conference. Their running game has sputtered is probably strong. The running game at Penn State isn't terrifying anybody. I think his work with Drew Allar has been the real win here. But this game's about Ohio State. Let's be brutally honest. If that secondary doesn't cover better than they did against Oregon, and if this Ohio State offensive line doesn't show up and give Will Howard an extra second, none of this matters. They're more talented. They're better at the skill positions. You've got the best wide receiver in the country, and you haven't been able to run the ball dynamically, and Will Howard has not been able to stand in the pocket and deliver the football consistently. I'm not Chip Kelly. I'm not an offensive coordinator. But this isn't on Chip Kelly. When so many people have been ripping him, you can rip Chip Kelly all you want. He's got his 5 best offensive linemen on the field, and they're not good enough. He's put the right route combos in. I think schematically their offense is sound. They simply have not had the time because they've been getting whooped up front on that offensive line. And it is, and I don't mean to be disrespectful of Penn State. This is all about Ohio State showing up and doing the job.
Yeah, Penn State's always been the little brother, dude.
And they are the little brother now. They are. And again, I think Kotelnicki's a great story. I think Drew Allar's a great story, even though with the injury, whatever. This is about Penn State. This is about them showing up and doing a job. I don't have to wonder if Will Howard can throw the football. I have to wonder if he will have the protection and the time to throw the football, because I think he lives for these crowds. I don't think the crowd was a factor in Eugene. I think Ryan Day was a factor in Eugene. I think the offensive line. I think the fact that they could not cover. These are all things that we can talk about.
I think that the big thing coming out of the Oregon game was the lack of preparedness in 2-minute situations, and 2-minute or less. You have to be able to say, okay, great, we feel comfortable in this situation. We know how we're going to execute. We got one timeout or whatever. We know what we need to do, and it's incredible to me that there just wasn't more of an emphasis to get Jeremiah Smith open. Get him open. Get him in, really good matchups.
But what's the truth about getting him open? Penn State's going to play man. They always play man. We know they play man, right? They're sending 6 up. They're going to get Will Howard. They're sending 6. That's what they do. This team, even against guys like, Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Egbuka, I think one of the best wide receiver rooms in the country, inarguably, they're going to send 6 and play man. That's who Penn State is. And this is going to come down to, have you figured out how to handicap the offensive line?
Mm-hmm.
Have you figured that out? Have you figured out how to consistently throw the football on a hot route to the running back? Have you figured that out? And my guess is you have. And if you, I'm telling you, if this offensive line plays the same way that they played last week against Nebraska, don't even get on the flipping plane. Don't even show up at Beaver. Don't do it. Because Sandusky State will beat you down if you are not going to protect better than you protected against that Nebraska front.
Yeah, I think that I mean, I agree with that, obviously, but I also think that again, this Ryan Day Chip Kelly conversation is front and center, because you know what you have in that offensive line. So I understand that, yeah, Penn State's going to bring 6, but if they're going to bring 6, and obviously that's down and distant dependent, they're not bringing 6 every single play, but
I think 80% of the time, that Ohio State offensive line is going to see 6.
If they're going to bring 6 the whole game, they're going to lose the game by 10. You can't bring 6 the whole game against Ohio State. That's not going to work.
But and I don't disagree with you. Nebraska was in man 35-40% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
We watched pretty much that entire game.
But my thing is, I don't disagree they're going to play man, but if they're going to shade over, if they're going to play man over on Jeremiah Smith the whole game, and you do nothing to change that dynamic, if you do nothing to because he typically lines up wide left. That's typically where you're going to see Jeremiah Smith most times. So if he's going to be wide left and you're going to allow them to essentially box him into the sideline the whole game, that's on Ryan Day and Chip Kelly. That's not on Will Howard or the offensive line.
Carnell Tate is going to have the game of his life if they're going to win, because I agree with you. I think we all know that Jeremiah Smith has been the best receiver in football this year.
Yeah.
I think he's the best receiver in the country. And that means Egbuka and Tate have to be better. And I think Carnell Tate is up to the job. I think he is that guy. And I think Will Howard's that guy. But you've got to stand up. You've got to hold up rather against 6-man pressure from Penn State. That's the entire conversation, bros. That's it. And if you don't, I think Ryan Day is done after this year, because I think if you lose this game, are you Oregon or are you Nebraska? And Ohio State fan, get in the comment section. I don't think they played poorly against Oregon. I know this is, I did an interview in Columbus the other day talking about this exact thing. I don't think they played bad against Oregon. I know that's controversial, and I know people freak out when I say that. They played terribly against Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad performance. I'm not worried about Oregon. You can clean up that final possession. You can't clean up what we saw against Nebraska.
Yeah, but I agree with that. But my bigger concern is the play calling against Oregon. My bigger concern is the lack of situational awareness displayed through that game. And Nebraska is another good example to your point. Like there were no, like, I didn't see adjustments. I didn't see like, hey, Nebraska's doing X, so we should do Y.
I totally agree.
Like great football teams, and this was the Texas conversation coming out of the Georgia game. Great
100%.
football teams can go to the half and make adjustments.
I agree.
And what did Texas not do? Texas was not bringing out the jumbo package or the max protect package for whatever reason. And I'm tired of hearing, oh, well, Will Howard ran down the middle of the field and that's why they lost the game. That is not why they lost the game. Now, Will Howard deserves criticism. He's been held accountable for that. I think he's answered that question a million times over the last, 4 weeks or whatever it's been since they played that game, right? Like, he's answered that question. If you're in 2 minute at the end of this game against Penn State, you messed up somewhere along the road. You are a better team than Penn State.
Yeah.
You have more talent, but the coaching ability is what I'm concerned about, which is why I say, if you lose this game, don't care if it's by 1 or by 100. You lose this ball game, Ryan Day should be fired. Now, if you win this ball game and you go undefeated the rest of the way, then you go to the college football playoff and you win 2 games in the college football playoff. Now we're having a different conversation about Ryan Day. But this is one of those games that great head coaches win. And I don't think we can definitively say that Ryan Day is an all-time great college football coach until he shows us he can win these bigger ball games.
Yeah, I think that if I had to guess, Donovan Jackson will be a tackle. I think the Josh Simmons injury completely changed the dynamic of this offensive line. I do not think that Zen Michalski was a game changer, in my opinion. I'm not saying he was bad, but he got hurt too, by the way. I mean, I think now this is where you have to step up. And I think that, the things that concern me is you're not running the ball at Ohio State. You have one of the best run support safeties in football, in Jalen Reed. You look at some of Jalen's numbers and his performances. He's one of the best run support guys, and he's having arguably the season of his life. I think he is, I don't think even in doubt, the best safety in the Big Ten. He's having that kind of impact on a team that's got national championship aspirations. And if you're going to allow him to be in the box in run situations, I think you're in trouble.
But see, in that scenario,
plain and simple.
In that scenario, and this is what I'm talking about, because you're going to be in a spot where you're 3rd and 15 in this game. That's going to happen. Like, you're going to see that. Do you have the balls to send Jeremiah Smith down the field? Because if they're going to put a safety in the box,
do you have a choice but to?
But my point is, if you're 3rd and 15, and this is something you need to watch, because Ryan Day does this and it drives me nuts. If you're 3rd and 15 on your 30-yard line and you're having a crappy drive to start the game, are you going to be the guy that's just going to turn around and hand it off and punt it away? Or are you going to be the guy that says, okay, I want a running back in the backfield. I want 5 offensive linemen, and I want to give Will Howard 3 seconds. And then I want to send Jeremiah Smith 20 yards down the field. Which way are we going to go in this game? And those are the little things I'm talking about. Like Penn State's going to come after you. But this isn't about Penn State.
No,
this is about Ohio State.
Yes,
this is about Ryan Day and Chip Kelly answering the bell, man. And I love Chip Kelly as an OC. I think he's incredibly creative. A lot of the sets are really solid, but he has this particular year left a lot to be desired, man. There's been a lot of times where I'm like, man, like what was that? Like, why are we? It's like what I talk about with BYU and Aaron Roderick. Like, why are we going east and west on 3rd and 15? Why are we not showing the defense that we don't give a damn what the down and distance is? We will take a shot on you, because that has to happen in this game to alleviate them bringing down 8-9 guys into the box the whole game. That's what you have to do. And that's kind of why I say, like, I agree that the Penn State's coming for you, but this is, that already. You have to respond.
Yeah. And the quarterback at Penn State's a big deal, because I think if you're asking Denzel Burke to cover everybody,
yeah.
I mean, Listen, Caleb Downs and Denzel Burke, I think, have been really good. I think that Caleb Downs is the best defensive player at Ohio State. I think he's been everything you want. I think he and Jalen Reed are fantastic to watch at the top end of two really good defenses. But the truth is that Ohio State hasn't covered opposite of Denzel Burke nearly as much as you like. And look, Denzel didn't have the best game of his life against Oregon. I think we all recognize that.
Right.
But this is redemption time, because if Drew Allar plays, so Drew Allar's got this knee injury. He's not going to be mobile. He's not going to be a guy that's, and especially he likes to roll to his left effectively. That's kind of his crutch when he wants to throw and he needs a minute. He'll roll left. He's not going to be able to do that with this knee injury. And I think it's a huge question if Bo Prabula, whatever the hell his name is, if the Fighting Sandusky's backup quarterback can compete.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do not have a day, I think the number's 3 sacks at a minimum here. I think you need at least 2 turnovers and 3 sacks. You need to terrify their quarterback if you're Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think it's got to happen.
There was some video on the Drew Allar portion. There was some video that came out yesterday of him kind of jogging around at practice. Like, there's a noticeable limp. There's, he's clearly not 100%. And I think you make a great point. I would completely agree. His escape is left, rolling left.
Absolutely.
And when your knee hurts, when you don't have full dexterity in that knee, when that knee is not feeling good and you can't trust it, that's going to be an incredibly difficult throw.
And he's already not a gifted thrower of the ball.
And that's what I was going to point out too, about this game. One of the things that really stood out to me in the Oregon game was Dillon Gabriel is Heisman Trophy good. Like, let's be real. Dillon Gabriel showed the deep ball efficiency in that game. He showed an ability to get over the top on Ohio State with regularity. And with all due respect to Drew Allar, he's not Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel is far better than he is. So, to me, this game is entirely different. It's an entirely different ask than what the ask was against Oregon. The ask against Penn State is to stop the run early and force Penn State into a lot of 3rd and 10. Because if you can do that, you're going to get off the field on them. They thrive when they're 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, just like any other football team does. The only difference is they don't have Dillon Gabriel to bomb it 40 yards down the field on 3rd down when you weren't expecting it. And that's why I say I really do feel like Ohio State should win this game. The expectation should be Ohio State wins this game, in my opinion, by a touchdown, and you're able to control this Penn State offense if you're Ohio State. That's what the expectation should be.
Well, I think you also have to remember that you have a really good pass catching tight end in Tyler Warren. You have a guy looking for redemption in Julian Fleming. Penn State's got some dudes, and you're not just going to show up here. And again, not to be redundant, has Ohio State recovered from losing Josh Simmons? Because they're not running the football effectively at all.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh Simmons, the left tackle who's out for the year with his knee injury. I think that's the question that everybody is asking about this Ohio State offensive line. Can you recover from that loss? And what are you going to do to try and recover from that loss?
Yeah.
And I do think that you are looking at, I think Donovan Jackson's got to play tackle for Ohio State, because you've got to run the football. They don't right now. And maybe I'm wrong, Ohio State fan, but I don't feel like right now that you are a team that can be up 7, the Nebraska scenario, be up a touchdown and run the football to burn the clock.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like Ohio State had that in the repertoire last week. So,
I mean, was it the 69 yards they ran for?
Yeah, it's just gone away.
Yeah.
And I agree with your point about Dillon Gabriel. Nothing at Ohio State that they're going to see out of Penn State is Dillon Gabriel level tomorrow.
Yeah.
But don't mistake the fact that Penn State's offense is good enough to beat you significantly. I think the world of this Ohio State secondary, I think they're going to be better. I think they will, in my opinion, they will pressure. They will cover. My single biggest question in this game is, can they run the football? Can Ohio State run the football?
And do they look prepared? Like, you're going on the road here. Like, can you run the football? Do you look prepared in the passing game? Like these, when we talk about Ryan Day, everyone, it's easy to say, like, hey, he needs to be fired. But I'm not even saying he should be fired from the standpoint of, hey, did Penn State stop you from running the football? I'm saying from a preparedness level, do your guys look confident in what they're doing? Do they look like they've got that belief? Because they had that belief against Oregon. Like, you were in a good place in that game until the fourth quarter, and then it kind of went sideways. So I think, again, I'm taking Ohio State by a touchdown. You know, I just, you're a 3-point road favorite in this game. Win the game by a touchdown, control the clock in the second half, and show us that you're that guy. Show us that you can control this team a little bit. Like, don't make it a field goal game going to the fourth quarter, man.
I haven't seen. Has anybody seen an update on Dennis Sutton? If he doesn't play for Penn State, that's a big loss. I think Drew Allar will play. I have no doubt about that. But the questions about Dennis Sutton are huge. He is a beast. He's not going to be 100% if he.
Here's a nugget that Brett McMurphy tweeted 6 minutes ago about Ohio State and Penn State. Ohio State's a 3-point favorite at Penn State, as we were saying,
which I'm a little surprised about.
As a home underdog, Penn State has lost 6 consecutive games, while Ohio State is only 2-9 against the spread in top 5 matchups. So
James Franklin's not that guy.
No,
I know, again, I'm not breaking news to anybody. He sucks in big. I am not a James Franklin guy at all. I mean, the great facilitator of sexual assault is not a guy that I want coaching my team.
Yeah.
And listen, I think with the injuries, and as injured as that Penn State offense has been this year, they've continued to perform. But at some point, when your quarterback's limping around, your tackle's limping around, and you're not going to have your best defensive rusher, the talent is going to win out for Ohio State.
Facts.
Just don't get in the way of yourself. That's all I'm asking. Don't get in the way of yourself, and you should be fine. All right, let's get your comments in here. Where do you guys come down on Bucks and Lions tomorrow? I like Penn State a lot in this game. I like Penn State a lot in this game. I feel like this lines up to be one of the better games we've seen.
Yeah.
And the wings will be smoked.
How about this Saturday for you? Can I just point this out? Dude over here is getting fitted for some new clubs on Saturday morning. Then going to come home and watch hopefully destroy Penn State in the pedos. And then what do you got after that? You said you had a busy Saturday. You got anything after that?
I was thinking about going to the Symphony, but I don't think so. I don't know. It's going to depend. If Penn State wins, I'm going to not be in a good mood. Penn State has turned me into an Ohio State fan somehow. And listen, Notre Dame's not going to the college football playoff. I think we're probably all on board with that. I don't have a rooting interest in, but if Ohio State loses to Penn State, the devil wins. It's a good day to be a Jezebel tomorrow if Penn State wins. I mean, who knows? Advocates donations before the comment section. Advocates donations. We are raising money to feed hungry kids on Thanksgiving. The Advocates are partnered with Thanksgiving Heroes. You can find them at slc.thanksgivingheroes.org. Make your donations on Venmo. Send a screenshot of your Venmo donation to Jake on Instagram. No, his Instagram's not private. SLC Jake. The memo section is going to determine winner and loser.
Yeah.
Who's this latest one from?
Calford
for $100. Monty Show feeds the children. Winner. There it is. It's over. Okay.
Well, I win. Google me.
I kind of think the ugly girlfriend or Maury dropping a pedo state bomb in the Venmo memo section to the advocates. But $100 is
listen. We need a lot more donations, man. And it could be $1 with a fire memo section.
Yeah.
We're not asking you for some huge amount. We're asking you just to participate.
Wait, who did you say this last one was?
Calford.
Okay.
We're just asking you to participate at whatever level you can.
$1, $5, $100.
Any money, anything donated to this cause is better than not donating at all.
And I know that you get asked for a lot of donations, especially during election season, and this is going 100% to putting food in the mouths of hungry kids. 1 in 6 kids.
Yeah.
1 in 6 kids are going to be hungry on Thanksgiving. Let that sink in. In a country like ours, where we have so much, and maybe I'm wearing a Ralph Lauren shirt today. I'm going to Hawaii for Thanksgiving. I'm doing my part because I have what so many people don't have. I take for granted what so many people would die for. That's what we're talking about. Giving kids the basics of mashed potatoes, French. We're not talking about gourmet meals here, friends. We are talking about the basic necessities.
Look at that.
This is what your money goes to. A bag of Idaho russets, rolls, things like, stuffing on Thanksgiving.
Turkey, pumpkin pie.
The basics. And if you think about a kid being hungry, not having a meal, do you know how many days or how many weeks does this food right here? How long do you think mom and dad are going to stretch that gallon of milk?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're talking about. $1, $5, $100, $1 million. In 1 hour from now, we're going to give away a $50 Amazon gift card to the best memo section. The memo matters today. And I'm kind of leaning to Maury just for the cojones of putting in Penn State in the memo section.
Yeah, let's have another entry, even if it's $1. Like, let's, have a bit of a competition here.
All of this money goes to the kids. Please make it happen. Hook it up. James, the stadium guy, the Ohio State will take care of Penn State, beat Michigan, and beat Oregon in a rematch of the Big Ten title game.
Yeah, we'll see.
Whoever loses this game, I think, is in danger of missing the college football playoff. If Ohio State loses, the season's over.
Yeah.
If Penn State loses, I think their number goes down to 56% to get into the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Loaner phone. Day is not great, but he gets the job done. Who do you replace him with? Signetti? Signetti's not leaving Indiana.
I win. Google me.
He's not leaving Indiana right now. The answer is I don't know, because we don't know who would be available. And no, Ohio State fan, it's not Urban Meyer coming back. I've heard that 1,000 times. I don't think you talk about replacing Ryan Day until somewhere right around 3:30 on Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
And then maybe we're not talking about it at all. My instinct says we won't talk about it at all. James Franklin is in high water already with Penn State issues. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Steely, not being dramatic. It's all true, Monty. Spot on, Jake. I appreciate that. Troy, go Buckeyes, go. I'm more worried about Ohio State than Penn State. Totally agree.
Ryan Day is
100%.
shown to be one of those guys that cracks in the biggest moments. He has that reputation. There's no getting away from it. And
yeah,
and this is one of those games. And I just, like with Kirby or even Dabo, as maligned as Dabo is, I look at Dabo and I say he's shown you in big games that his team does show up. That they do. Like, he's shown us that he's got 2 natties. Like, he's shown us that it, like, I look at Dabo, I look at Kirby, Sark, certainly, like Sark in the Georgia game. I don't feel like he folded in that moment. I feel like they just got out prepared. Like, Georgia just said, hey, you know what? Like, we're going to flex in this game and you're going to have to prove that you can protect Quinn Ewers. And they didn't do that. This is different. This is with Ohio State. I genuinely believe that Ryan Day standing over there on the sideline, asking his coordinator, like, what are we doing, dude? What adjustments can we make? And they just take too long to make the adjustment. Like, if like as an example, if early in this game Penn State is doing what you say they're going to do, if they've got, if they're bringing 6 guys consistently just as a matter of routine early in this game, I better see a lot of screen passes out of the backfield. I better see a lot of quick stuff 5 to 7 yards down the field.
If Dennis Sutton doesn't play, I think that Abdul Carter becomes the focus of the Penn State or the Ohio State offense. And I think if you're without Dennis Sutton, don't you have to bring 6 to get home to Will Howard? I think you do. I think we've seen all season that he is a disruptor. And as much as I think Abdul Carter is probably a first-round pick in the upcoming draft, if he's your guy, Penn State's going to have to find a way to get to Will Howard, because I would imagine that Ohio State will roll protection that way and will chip and will double him. And at that point, that's because you don't have Dennis Sutton on the other side to pin him.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a lot less dynamic up front. I think you have to bring 6 at that point, because you're going to pick your poison, especially when you're missing one of your best edge players. I have to think that Ohio State runs the ball better tomorrow. And if that's going to bring more guys to the box, again, I am telling you now that these wide receivers have got to come and show out tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is as much as I can say. And I hope that Julian Fleming takes a beating tomorrow. I understand that you felt like you weren't getting reps that you needed, or you're not one of the top 5 wide receivers at Ohio State right now if you just stayed. And I hope you get your ass beat for leaving. I cannot stand Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even try to hide it.
Right.
But I feel like Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Egbuka, Carnell Tate's the guy I'm watching tomorrow, because I fully expect Jeremiah Smith to be the best wide receiver in the country in this game. And you've got to get the job done, in my opinion. Carnell Tate is so critically important. Jared Jones, I don't think Day is coaching for his job, but he should be. You really don't think so? Can he keep his job if they don't go to the college football playoff?
It's tough, bro.
Come on. Jay McClanahan, I would say Franklin is coaching for his job. They always lose the tough game against Ohio State. Franklin is good for cover-ups, but not good at covering Ohio State's offense. See what he did there?
Bro. Wow.
See what he did there? I don't disagree with you. Devin C., good morning. Thank you for the donation. Shouldn't bum James Franklin also be coaching for his job in this game? Yeah, but
I just don't think he is, man. Look at the behavior in the press conference. Look at what Penn State's allowed him to do.
Yep, I agree. The stadium guy, James, if Ohio State was crazy enough to fire Ryan Day, I'd take him in Stillwater in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, that's a clear upgrade.
Okay. I'm not doing Oak State.
You're a homer. Was the first part.
I'm not doing it. Barfing chickens. Hello. Why do I only wake up this early nowadays when I'm hungover?
That's cute.
Question.
I remember when I had my first beer.
It's a good question. Green Man. Chip needs to prove he came to OSU for more than a paycheck. I don't disagree with that.
Completely.
Well, and you can do that. Steely says you both are spot on in all your analysis. We talk about all these points for 3 weeks on all of our OSU podcasts. Well, thank you.
I do think this question about if Ryan Day is coaching for his job is a really fascinating one for Ohio State fan, because if it was me, he'd be coaching for his job. But in reality, like the thing we can't ignore is how much money they're making in the athletic department and in the football program. Like Ryan Day is allowing you to make absurd money.
But listen. Michigan is down. They're not going to compete for anything.
Yeah.
And you're still not going to win the Big Ten championship? You're letting the new boys in Eugene come in here and win this conference?
Apparently.
You're not going to the college football playoff? We're going to the we suck, couldn't get in the playoff bowl presented by your mom? That's the best Ohio State could do.
Because it's garbage.
Yeah, sorry. Ryan Day's got to go. Ryan Day's got to go. Who are you, Baylor? You're just going to keep 8 ball there because it's easier?
Well, but what's the difference?
Come on.
But again, what's the difference though?
Yeah, but what do we? I think the difference is what are we playing for at Ohio State?
Yeah, but
what is the expectation at Ohio State?
Yes, but I think that the thing is Ohio State, like, it's no longer just about wins and losses, in my opinion, especially for dudes at Ryan Day's level. Yes, you're playing for national championships. Yes, he's underachieving. Yes. But where he's not underachieving is your pocketbook. And I think that is why overall there's a certain comfortability with Ryan Day.
What am I going to say about money?
Yeah, well, they're making more money than anybody.
It's not how much money. It's not how much money you're making.
Right, but they don't care about what they're not making because they're making so much.
And scared money don't make money.
Yeah, well,
that's great. You're making hundreds of millions of dollars, but what about the $100 million you left on the table? What about the payout you're not going to get because you're not going to the college football play? It's not good enough. I think I think that Ohio State wants it all. There is only one successful outcome at Ohio State every year, or maybe there's not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
maybe you're right.
I don't disagree with your logic. What I disagree with is people giving a damn about winning more than they give a damn about making money. And yeah, not going to the playoff. Obviously, you're not going to make that money, but typically they're in the playoff. Like,
yeah. Loaner phone. I know I sent $100 to the Advocates, but dude, why can you not get this right? I don't think what we're asking you guys to do here is difficult.
It's not.
Take a screenshot of your Venmo and send it to Jake on Instagram. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
His Instagram, Jake on Instagram, is SL. Am I incorrect that you are SLC Jake on Instagram?
Yeah, it's SLC Jake. Yeah. Yep.
Send a donation of any monetary value to the Advocates on Venmo. Advocates donations on Venmo.
It's clearly working.
Because people are doing it.
Yeah.
It's not difficult. It's not difficult. And again, you guys, if you're just tuning into the show while we're talking college football, we're trying to, it's Giving Friday on the Monty Show. We are at, what have we raised? I think we're just short of $500, right? 50 there, 75, 80, $180. We had 250 yesterday. We're just short of $500.
Right.
We need $500 more dollars in the next hour. We'd like to raise $1,000 every Friday for this cause. That's what we would like to do. Send a donation to the Advocates donations right here. Advocates donations. Send that donation, take a screenshot and send it to Jake. SLC Jake.
Yeah, it's verified. You're not on my blocked list. So it's not on me.
Yeah.
Like
loaner phone, this is not difficult. Steely says, not being dramatic, it's all true, Monty and Jake. I agree with you. Why does my comment section keep resetting?
Yeah, Ohio State fan, I'm really curious. I would love to hear from you in the comment section about, do you think at Ohio State, because you guys are there, do you think it's more about how much money you're making in the program right now? Because you are, what the latest figure was like 295, I think we had said when we talked about it, that you made 295 million in 2023, I believe it was.
Yep.
So does it matter more to the program to make money and have financial security as we head into the NIL rev share situation, if you will, or does it matter more to win? That is what I think for Ohio State fan you are having to grapple with.
I think there's a lot of questions about who do you hire if you fire Ryan Day? The answer is not Chip Kelly. I don't believe that's the answer. If that's my opinion, I think here's my opinion. You missed the best available candidate in Luke Fickell.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I'd have hired. But you let him go to Wisco, so that ship has sailed, right? I mean, are you going to go and reach for a Mike Vrabel who's never coached in college? I mean, if you think about existing head coaches, you know who I'm going to say. Who's the first guy I would call?
Lincoln Riley.
Or Lane Kiffin. He is at a mid-level SEC job and he is dominating. Ole Miss has never been better at football.
Well, I would agree with that.
Lane Kiffin, I think, is a candidate, and I think my opinion is if Lincoln gets fired, you can't hire him. I think Lane Kiffin is the guy. Is Lane Kiffin an upgrade to Ryan Day? I think he is. And I'll be honest with you, and Brandon, you're not wrong. The problem is, can you find anyone better than Ryan Day? Or I think James Franklin, if we're truth-telling, he's what you needed at Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Until all the sexual assault stuff now has come out.
Right.
Now, if you're not winning, you're a pain in the ass. I hope they never play another football game at Penn State. Screw them. I look at Ohio State. This is one of the premier programs in the country.
Right.
If not the premier program in the country. You need a guy who's got personality, chutzpah, can sit in a living room and recruit a kid, can get in the portal and recruit a kid, and can win games. Lane Kiffin has shown you now. He is that guy. He is that guy. Kevin Nash says, Lane Kiffin, you got jokes. Okay, who would you hire? Kevin Nash, who would you hire? Lane Kiffin, the truth about Lane Kiffin is he high maintenance? No, not really. Was he a good coach at USC? No. But did he transform himself under Nick Saban? Did Steve Sarkisian transform himself under Nick Saban? Yeah, they did. And Sark went to Texas, and look what he's done. Lane went to Ole Miss. Look what he's done.
Well, I think that's the part that people are struggling with.
What?
When you say, look what he's done. Hasn't been a college football playoff guy yet.
But it's Ole Miss. And is he not on the verge of that now? Has he not built? Are we really? Okay.
Yes,
I'm happy to go down the hole. Not Penn State style, but talking about Lane Kiffin. Okay. If you want to talk about Lane Train, Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss is 40-17. Lane Kiffin's record at Ole Miss, 5-5, 10-3, 8-5, 11-2, and right now he's 6-2. And last year they finished ranked 9th in the country. And you're saying he hasn't done a good job? And you're telling me that at 22-15 in the SEC, he hasn't done a good job at flipping Ole Miss? Are you out of your mind? He has not done a good job. He has done an incredible job. And his time, I think his time at Alabama, and then when you look at what he went to Florida Atlantic, who the flip is Florida Atlantic? 11-3, 5-7, 10-3, and then he goes to Ole Miss and turns that program around like that. Lane Kiffin is a good head coach. Like, I think it's easy to be like, oh, Lane sucks. Okay, well, tell me who you would hire. Tell me who you would hire. Because I think Lane Kiffin is probably, like, you're not going to get, would you have hired Kalen DeBoer? Yeah, I would have. Do you understand? Ohio State is one of the biggest jobs in all of football, NFL or college. That's the caliber of job we're talking about.
I mean, definitely a career-defining opportunity.
I mean, there is no other job. Where did Urban Meyer earn his legacy? At Ohio State, not at Florida. He proved he belonged at Ohio State at Florida. You don't go to Ohio State as a stepping stone. It is the stone. It is the cornerstone. It's not some small nothing gig, dudes.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that it's disrespectful to say that Lane is not a good candidate for Ohio State. I definitely think he's on the list. Is he the best candidate? That's up to your opinion. Everyone's going to view that differently. But I think, the one thing I would say for Big Ten teams is hiring an SEC head coach is never a bad idea. And I only say that because the SEC is just, it's just so much deeper, man. Even your mid-level SEC team is better than a lot of teams in the Big Ten. Like, this is the first year where the Big Ten actually has some depth to it. So I don't think that Lane's a bad candidate. I think that Lane hasn't had enough time in the college football playoff for Ohio State to definitively say that would be a great hire, but you could do a lot worse than Lane Kiffin, without a doubt.
Mike Vrabel or Lane Kiffin?
Oh, I think right now you got to go Lane. Yeah. Lane's in it.
And you know, I guess we can go round and round about it. Yeah. But, you know, Tanner Plummer, would Lane Kiffin leave the SEC for Ohio State in a second? I mean, Ole Miss is a stepping stone job, in my opinion. West Virginia will let Ohio State pick up the Neil Brown for pennies on the dollar. They'll even pay for new billboards.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Stadium guy James, if I were USC, I would give Lane Train a second chance. Are you out of your mind? Come on. Lane might be high maintenance, but according to certain Okie State fans, his hot girlfriend certainly is. Exactly right. Exactly right. Lane has done a good job. Sadly, for some people, if you don't make the college football playoff, you're irrelevant. Well,
you are.
But it's Ole Miss. It's Ole Miss.
But what's the problem with Ole Miss, dude?
It's a small school in a small town that doesn't have a history and tradition of competing at the top of college football. Other than that, it's a great job.
Then why did he take it?
Because it's an SEC head coaching job, and he was at Florida Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Lane has aspirations. Charles, I don't think Lane goes back to USC after his hissing cast train wreck there. It was not good. I agree. Lane is good, not great. He's like Lincoln, just not going to seal the deal.
I would take Lane Kiffin over Lincoln Riley. I would. I think that I think people don't want to talk about the lack of, I'm not going to say lack of resources, but just the dynamic at Ole Miss versus Ohio State is totally different. I think, you know, the tone that Lane would be able to set in that program, you know, would be different. Would definitely be different. And that's why I say, as an SEC head coach, you know, for a Big Ten job, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Geoff, yo there. Good morning. Good morning, Geoff. Good to see you. If I had to hire any coach, it'd be Schumann from UGA. He had been with Saban for 5 years and Kirby for the past few. But are you taking a risk? I think you are. Big Daddy Magic. Hey, player, can we talk about our beloved Victor? Well, who's our beloved Victor?
Yeah.
I don't know who the our is. He did dominate the Jazz. Anybody notice last night that, man, you got to really feel for Lowry Markkanen.
Yeah.
Oh, my back.
Think that's HIPAA?
Told you he's going to have a sore knee all season.
Yep.
How about, and what did Jake say this morning when we were like, well, what do you want to talk NBA today? How about the Jazz totally blown it in the second half? You're up at the half, and then you just come out and you do everything you need to do to win that game.
Yep.
I agreed. Huge win for the Jazz last night.
Yep.
Huge win, losing to the
Dominated
the
that game.
Huge win. Lane Kiffin and Vrabel, the defensive coordinator. Okay. You know, the stadium guy, James, Lane's gal has a bachelor's degree from Ole Miss. My wife has a master's degree from TCU. You know, a school with real academic standards, not even close. My wife is awesome. It's too late. I mean, you can keep trying. Tanner Plummer, Larry be like, spinal, back is broken.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's exactly what that was.
Spinal, back is broken. I broke my back.
DK for $2. Kiffin or Sarkisian?
Sark. Yeah.
Well, Sark's proven now.
Yeah.
Sark is proven now.
Yeah.
Advocates donations on Venmo.
Not Maury. You got to look right above, right there for the $10 donation. Kyle Mayfield.
Kyle Mayfield for $10. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't dislike that.
Appreciate you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. We only have 30 minutes now, you guys. 30 minutes. Make your donation to the Advocates. And again, we need about $500. So can we go on a run? We're about $500 short of our goal this morning. And what I want you to do is send a donation. And honestly, if we can just get 10 people right now, donate $5 on Venmo. Or if you want to put it in the comments section, I don't love that idea, but because then we got to pay fees on it. But just send it on Venmo. 10 people, $5. And we'll give away another $50 gift card. So that'd be $100. 10 people donate $5 right now on Venmo, Advocates donations. 100% of that bread goes to feed hungry kids at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
100% of that money goes to Thanksgiving Heroes to help feed families. They need $134,000 between now and Thanksgiving. That's what the demand is right now. That's how many people, 1 in 6 kids right now in this country, do not have food today. 1 in 6. 10 people donate $5 right now. Right now. And if you donate $5 right now, one of those 10 people will win a $50 Amazon gift card.
Yep.
It's that simple. I'm that serious about this. Let's do what we need to do. We all have a wealth of riches. So much more than those folks this morning. So please, if you can donate 10 people $5 right now, send it on Venmo, take a screenshot to Jake. And again, the comment section matters on the Venmo donation. Maury Alvarez talking about Penn State.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, my Instagram's not private. Just want to
keep loaner phone still is not sent.
Yeah, just trying to point that out.
James still trying to cover like he is on Revis Island.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Seriously.
I have a degree from DeVry, and my wife breaks spaghetti before boiling it in unsalted water.
Oh, I win. Google me.
Why are we boiling spaghetti in unsalted water, bro?
First of all, shut up. It's not the water. It's the breaking spaghetti part, which is who else on this show breaks spaghetti, Jake?
Not me.
Yeah, you do. When you have string spaghetti.
Is there another kind?
Yeah, a lot of people refer to. And you wonder why I worry about the youth of America.
Right.
Don't break your spaghetti. Don't. Jeremiah Champion, good morning. Hit the like button, y'all. Yes, please do. James, you're implying Ole Miss doesn't have academic standards, which is wild to me. Habitual Muffin. What do you think is harder for a head coach to transition to, NFL to college or college to NFL? College to NFL. College to NFL by far. West Coast Commissioner Gumby, who doesn't eat spaghetti with a knife? Nice.
Okay. We got to have a conversation about Oak State, James.
Why?
I've just sent you a new contribution from Oak State James.
Oh, boy.
Oak State James would like credit for the fact that he's donated Wednesday, Thursday, and now Friday.
Well, you got to tell me that. I have no idea if you've donated Wednesday, Thursday.
Well, we know that he had 2. I thought you just had 2 yesterday. But
okay. Let's see. What does he say here? Oak State James, the Advocates for Kids. My wife is so awesome. She sent me World Series updates when I was working late. She went with me when I took a trip to see Ohio State and Tennessee Stadium. Okay. I appreciate that.
Okay, we're starting to pick up the pace now. Guys are coming through right now.
I appreciate that. Let's go. Get in on the Advocates donations. All of these donations are going directly to the Advocates, who are going to put that money with their partners at Thanksgiving Heroes to feed hungry kids. Again, I'll just keep saying it. 1 in 6 kids. How is that possible? Look at all the kids who came to your front door last night. 1 out of every 6 of them did not know where they were going to get their meal. 1 out of every 6 of them were using the candy that you were donating to have a meal. That's the reality in our world. And it's hugely unnecessary.
Yeah.
We have far too many assets and resources in this world, especially in the United States of America. We have too many assets and resources where 1 in 6 kids is hungry. Okay, James, then we get Monty Show advocates.
This is Chris Karn.
Oh, Chris Karn, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Next one is Cam Harrison.
For the kids, Monty, $5. I appreciate that. Let's go.
And then I've got one more here from an OG. Appreciate you, dog. You are the best.
I appreciate that. Let's see. Hold on. Relax. Let's see. Who is this? What is this? What does the comment section say?
Yeah, read the comment section, then guess.
Sitting out the comment section this time like Oak State's James should have done 2 days ago. Feed the I have no idea who that is.
Lopes Fan Gabe.
Let's go, Lopes Fan Gabe.
Appreciate you, bro.
Look at that. So we're at 100 there. We're at 5 there, 105, 130, 185, and 195. So now we are, what are we?
I think we're like 3.
Yeah, I think we're 100. I think that's $135 we need to get to our goal of 1,000, which is great. And you guys have done a great job. I think Maury's winning with the Penn State. Although this one right here,
that's pretty good, dude.
Taking a shot at Oak State, James.
That's pretty good, bro.
James is such a legend on this show. Advocates donations on Venmo, $5, $100, $150, $1 million. Whatever you have, we need $135 in the next 29 minutes to get us to 1,000 for the day, which is what we're trying to do. Now, this does not include Loner Phone, right?
No, it does not.
Loner Phone, get us some visual evidence that you made the donation.
Yeah.
All right, let's get rolling in some game predictions while you guys get on Venmo. Let's go. I think the game of the weekend in the Big 12. Texas Tech at Iowa State. Iowa State's a 13.5-point favorite, 56.5. Baron Morton is going to play in this game. Baron Morton will play in this game. The question is, can Texas Tech stop Iowa State? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't feel all that confident that Joey has fixed this defense. And I don't feel all that confident that Texas Tech can go to Ames and win. And I think this is the only chance that K-State has to really stake a claim to the Big 12 championship. How confident are you that Texas Tech can go to Ames and win?
Yeah, I mean, I think, the one thing I'm really confident in with Texas Tech is their ability to score. I think that they're going to score better in this game than most people are willing to give them credit for. I think a lot of people, the easy thing to pontificate about this game would be that Iowa State's defense is just going to suffocate Texas Tech. And I'm not so confident in that. I don't think we're going to see Baron Morton be able to just sling it all over the field. I think from that standpoint, I don't think this is like some 350-yard performance out of Baron Morton, just because that Iowa State defense is disciplined to the scheme. They're in the right spots at the right time. They do their job. But what I do think we get out of Texas Tech in this game is a potential signature performance out of Taj Brooks and the running game, because they're going to need that to have any chance in this game, and they're going to need to run the football to be able to run play action and build off of the run game. And that, to me, is when you ask me, hey, what's my confidence level that they can win? I would say for Texas Tech in this game, it's 50-50, and it's going to come down to big time execution in the run game, because Iowa State has shown a propensity the last several weeks to allow teams to run on them. I'm not saying they're incapable of stopping Texas Tech. What I'm saying is that the last several weeks, they've not done a good job against the run. And that concerns me when you're playing a team that is so biased offensively to having to run the football to then pass the football. That, to me, says, hey, Taj Brooks really should have a big day here. But if you're a Big 12 football fan, make no mistake about it, Iowa State needs to win this football game. If you lose to Texas Tech, your season's not only over, but then you're relying on BYU to then beat Iowa State to then go to the college football playoff, which I think that's a big ask, man. especially if Iowa State were to lose to Tech. They'd be motivated. They'd have a chip on their shoulder again. Like I think the Big 12 just really needs Iowa State to win this game.
I think Iowa State's defense is the best in the business. And I look at John Heacock, the defensive coordinator at Iowa State. He does not tip his hand. But the bottom line is, are you going to stop Taj Brooks? And if you do that, if you sell out, because my guess is that you're going to try and play Texas Tech straight up. You are not going to, I don't think you're going to have to do much. I think if you're Rocco Becht, you got to throw the football a lot because this is not a very good defense. I think it's very difficult to sit here and believe that you are going to run the ball and win this game. Rocco Becht is going to have to throw the ball on a really bad Texas Tech defense to win this game, and I think he will. And I think my biggest question is, what is the top end for Texas Tech's offense? That to me is a really big question, because if you believe that Texas Tech score 30 points in this game?
No, I don't think you're scoring 30. I think high 20s is what you need.
So can Iowa State score 30 points on Texas Tech's defense?
Yeah, I do think they can.
Because I think that's going to be the question. But if you look at Iowa State this year, scored 38 in a shootout against UCF, scored 28 against West Virginia on the road, 43 against Baylor, 20 against Houston, 52 against Arkansas State, 20 against Iowa.
Yeah.
And only 21 against North Dakota, excuse me.
So I'm saying there's inconsistency there.
Who is this offense? Who is Rocco Becht? Rocco Becht is a middle-of-the-table conference quarterback in the Big 12. Middle of the table. That's it. Is he spectacular? Certainly he is not. You can send it.
Okay.
I think you're sitting there holding something.
I was just waiting for you to finish your take.
I think it is, to me, the biggest question is, can Rocco Becht get in a shootout with Baron Morton and win? I think it's really important what Joey McGuire said about what Joey McGuire said about Baron Morton, which is there's no structural issues in the shoulder for Baron Morton, which is really important. I think that is, in my mind, one of the biggest questions. I think Texas Tech is going to have the ball with a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter.
Very well could be.
I think there is a real chance that they have the ball in their hand. All right. I think there's a real chance that Loner Phone has mental damage, that your brain doesn't work correctly. Did you check if blocked using my first and last name? Bro, you're not blocked.
You're not blocked, my guy.
Stop.
What
are you talking about?
I verified it earlier in the show.
My God.
You're not blocked.
What are you doing? Let's see.
That's going to be Phil Stahl.
Phil Stahl. Thank you, Phil Stahl.
Yes.
I appreciate that very much. You sent me the same one twice.
Oh, my bad.
Let me see. Maybe. I doubt it, because I'm perfect in every way. Like, who am I, Loner Phone?
Right.
Let's see. What do we have here? Monty, I didn't drop this donation for feeding the kids before crossing your goal line. Did I? Mrs. Aztec is asking me to keep me accountable.
So see what he did there?
Oh, see what San Diego State Glenn did?
Yes. See what he did there?
Corley dropping the...
But that's a double reference in one take. See, this is a great example of what we should be doing. Whether it's $1, $50, $100, whatever. This is a double reference. That's a shot at James and a reference to Buddy last night dropping the ball before the goal line. So well done, bro.
So is it this one or is it the Maury Pedo State bomb? I still think I lean Maury Pedo State.
Okay. All right.
You put Pedo State in the... I think it is that one. I think Lopes Van Gabe, like James should have done 2 days ago. And then I think Glenn is third. I think that Lopes Van Gabe, that is just savagery.
Mm-hmm.
That is all that is. That is savagery. All right. So if that's the case now, We only need, what is that, $80?
And I'm looking at on Venmo, you can look at people's feeds for who's paid them or whatever. It's public information. We have a couple of folks who didn't send us screenshots yesterday who did donate, but it doesn't tell me how much they donated. It doesn't share the dollar figure that they donated.
Who donated?
So I'm looking at this guy, Micah Martinez.
Micah Parsons?
No, not Micah Parsons. No.
Oh, okay.
Micah Martinez donated yesterday and said, Thanksgiving for the families. Monty Show, go Utes, beat the Cougs. And then I don't know if we did Robert McInvale yesterday, who also donated yesterday on the show. So a couple of folks there.
Are they getting good Venmo action?
Yes, they are. They've got, I can count it up real quick.
That's great.
That's
awesome. Yeah, wow. Good for them. I really hope that we crush this, dudes. I really hope we crush this. I mean, it's just so important. Shout out to Big Daddy Magic, who's been a member for 16 months.
Oh, nice job, dude. Yeah, it looks like so far for the Thanksgiving thing, we've got 17 donations between yesterday and today.
Wow.
Which is awesome.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So then if that's the case, we are just $45 short of our $1,000 donation today. What?
I got a fresh one from you for you. That's an OG who knows exactly what the hell he's doing.
He did the job. He did the job today. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me upload the old image from Venmo. Let's see. What do we got here? Now there's anticipation. And again, Advocates donations on Venmo. Advocates donations on Venmo. Let's see. Because I don't use loaner phone. If you know, the Monty Show 1320. Let's go. Who's that? Brandon Butler 1320.
Yes, sir. Tried and true formula.
Let's go. I do love that. And you took a shot at loaner phone.
Awesome loaner phone reference there.
Which is amazing to me and awesome at the same time. Which is, yes. Let me see then. What would that be if we go 35 minus 13? 20,
and by the way, loaner phone for the record,
$21.80 gets us.
I don't see your donation in the feed. Just saying. So
loaner phone, I think you're joshing around. I don't think
respectfully.
You got it. You've got to somehow prove it. LOL 1320. It's so good.
Yeah.
And now you're 8-0, Mayor McCluskey. Amazing. It's gonna be Fat Jesus, right? No, it's not Fat Jesus.
Nope.
It's not. Lakefront Bears. If I was cheering the Utes, I would not share my donation either. Ooh. There you go. And there was a comment this morning. Well, no. The Utes are a poverty program, bro. Okay. Old Tatanka. The guy having problems sending you on Instagram, there is an slc.jake. That isn't it.
That's not it, bro.
There's an slc.jake. Okay, now we're getting into Instagram gate.
Instagram gate.
slc.jake. Who is this?
Is this a grifter, dude? Is this someone copying me or something?
Charles Leclerc. There is, but it looks like a woman. So maybe it is you. No, Jake is just SLC Jake with an underscore at the end. You really should.
That's clearly not me, dude.
Yeah, clearly not you. Yeah, I think, and it says your name.
Yeah, like it's not hard to.
It says Jake Montemayor right under SLC Jake.
Yeah, like,
come on. Whoa, hey, how are you?
You don't have to throw things.
I almost dropped my phone. Loaner phone says I sent it. Okay, give it to the Pedo State Post. Maybe try SLC Jack. Yeah, I mean you could try loaner phone. You could try SLC Jack.
Yeah,
you know. I see what happened was I sent it to SLC John. Okay. Congratulations. You're sending money to which is fine. I appreciate the effort. Geoff.
Yes.
Let's go. Sends $10 $10. Thank you, Geoff. I appreciate that. Andy's watching the show. Oh, look at the bow tie. Look at the bow tie. Hope your family's well, Geoff. Thank you for that. So we are just now, are we not? I think we're just now $12. Let's round up to $12, which is, we got another one. Look at you guys coming through.
Dude, we're pushing it in right now, bro. These are flowing in.
Wow.
Man.
Really? We're pushing it in.
I don't know what the problem is.
What is wrong with you? This is a family show.
I know.
You know. All right. A couple more because we got to run through some games too. The Advocates, KMBR homer.
Yes, this is
680. That's got to be Eric in Durham.
Yeah, Eric in Durham.
Eric in Raleigh. Appreciate that. Now we're just $5.20. we are down to the last. You guys are ridiculous. Let's see. What do we got? $5. Get Fat Joe to sing for the kids. The Monty Show. I love it. Who is this?
Chris Karn.
Chris Karn. I love it. Thank you, Chris. There
Appreciate
you go.
you.
$1,000 raised today for the Advocates. So who do we give the $50 gift card to?
I think I'm a big proponent of letting the people decide.
I think the
Penn State bomb is awesome.
Maury with the Penn State. That or where's Geoff? Geoff but he didn't put a memo section.
No, the Lopes fan Gabe loaner phone bomb was really good.
Yes, I would agree with that. This one right here.
Yeah, didn't he have
sitting out
phone?
the comment section this time like Oak State James should have done 2 days
the
ago?
Oak State James bomb. Yeah,
the Oak State.
I mean, there's several good options here,
bro. The Pedo State one though. I mean, you drop that in a comment section to a law firm, bro. Now you misspelled it, which is fine, but. Yeah, where do you guys go? I think it is Jack going all Sandusky in his comments. Exactly. And now I feel bad for loaner phone. He says 6:34 a.m. sent $100 to the Advocates donations. Then where is your screenshot?
And where is your donation in the feed? I mean, did you do it on Venmo?
He's
I'm
looking at
it.
He is looking at the Advocates
and it
Venmo
tells
donations.
Me I can go all the way back to because we did earlier in October, the week of the 9th. Some folks donated for Halloween costumes and stuff like that. So I'm all the way back to that. And the first donation yesterday on the Thanksgiving thing was San Diego State Glenn. Then James, then Micah, then Kim, then Geoff, then James again, then Robert McInvale, and I could just go up the list and I don't see you there, man. So I'm not trying to discredit you, but
it's either there, I sent to Venmo. Then where's the screenshot?
Yeah.
Loaner phone.
Dude, this isn't hard, man.
I don't think you're lying. You've got to send us a screenshot of it because it's not on the Advocates Venmo.
Yeah.
And you haven't sent you're playing this game where you're saying you're blocked. You're not. Bradley Dunkel, you donated to someone. Yeah, you did. Lakefront Bears says pedo. Exactly.
This has Oak State James putting his cell phone number on Twitter vibes.
It really does. That when you guys fell in love, I'll never forget that.
But bro, what do you mean you sent to Venmo?
What does that mean?
What does this next comment right there say? What does that say?
Sent pic to Twitter when could not find. Okay.
Let's
so
check
you
Twitter
DM'd
now.
it to me. Are you saying you DM'd it? Who did you send it to on Twitter? Why? I don't look at my notifications on Twitter. I have 781.
Bro, I don't have a ton of notifications on Twitter, and I'm looking at my DM right now. I have nothing from you.
I have. Oh my God, dude. This is why I don't look at my Do you know how many DMs I have? Maybe it's
a lot.
I have 1,177 message requests on
a lot.
You sent me nothing on Twitter. I have no DM
Dude,
from you.
and don't start with this. Don't tell me that you're all upset, bro. We're not doing anything here, man. Don't turn this into us.
Yeah, this is not about us. You did not send me Oh my God, so many people have DM'd me. I hate Twitter so much. I see nothing from. Well, I don't. What is your name on Twitter?
Yeah, what's your name, dude?
Because I don't. But nobody sent me pictures.
He's telling you, man. I'm looking at.
Are
their
you
feed.
Robert Corolla? He says Monty could not find Jake on Instagram or you. You're the only one who's having trouble finding us on social media. Yeah, bro. Yeah. I sent it to Elon. Duh. Exactly right. The fog is getting thicker. I think he's screwing with you guys. Dude, getting catfished by an imposter Jake. Exactly. Fraudulent donor. Thanks for the donation.
Look at his name. Look at his name.
SLC Jack.
Oh,
that's
man,
so
that's
good.
awesome, dude.
Jeremiah Sullivan, LOL, bro. You got, bro. Should probably report that obviously fake profile.
Like, that's what I'm saying, though. Wait, hold on. Go back to that. That's what I'm saying. It's not like you can confuse my profile.
No.
Like, it's distinct. Like, it's not hard to find.
There's
it's
a lot of
public.
catless cars on it.
Yeah,
like come
it's
on.
loud. Like, it's in your face. Like, come on, dude.
I've heard that about you. You're all definitely getting trolled right now. I think so. So it's fine. It's fine. And you had been so good. You would come back to the comment section.
Dude.
You would come back to the membership. You hadn't been a jackwagon. And now here we are. Maybe loaner phone isn't working. Exactly right.
Yeah, bro.
Did you use it on the phone you sent back to Apple when they sent you your loaner that they
That's
don't?
the untrained eye.
Sounds like loaner phone needs to come back to iPhone. I would agree with that 100%. 100%.
Okay, hold on. Before we leave this,
yes,
Eric in Durham.
Who's actually?
I don't know how he's done this. Actually, he's sent. So look at this. He sent a screenshot of loaner phones donation. I guess this is.
Where did you
Look
get
at
this?
So he's DMing me. Eric Rogers.
Yeah, Eric and Raleigh
is DMing me.
Okay. Now the plot thickens.
And this is a picture of a tweet, I guess, that RJ Seaman tweeted at me publicly, apparently. Now. And
when is this? And how come I don't? How come?
Oh, I know what's okay. So here's what's going on here. So RJ Seaman tweeted at me publicly an hour ago, apparently. Okay. I didn't see this. But look what he's done here with this screenshot. He's not. Note the screenshot. What's the button at the bottom? Take the banner off the page real quick. What's the button at the bottom? The green button say.
Oh, you didn't send the donation.
So Eric Rogers on the tweet said you have to hit pay. So that's the problem. See, now I look at you differently, bro.
Okay, first of all, Eric and Raleigh, you're
appreciate you putting the dots together, bro. Thank you.
You are a demon. You never paid the $100.
Yeah, bro.
You never sent the donation. Like, are you
like? Because in the way we know you didn't send the donation is I'm looking at I can see the feed on Venmo.
Yeah, there's Eric and Raleigh right there. You have to hit pay button for the money to be sent.
Yeah, so I mean that's see, this is what I'm talking about.
Dunkle,
like,
you didn't push pay.
Yeah, like
so you never paid $100.
Yeah, dude. Like, so don't
get on us about that.
Yeah.
Giggity's like, bro. Now it feels like you're
a hack, dude.
Yeah, now you're a fraud.
Yeah.
Now it feels like you're being.
Why do this?
I don't. What was the point of this?
Donate $1, but pay the $1. Like.
Yeah, if you can't afford $100, send $1. I don't care.
Nobody asked you to donate 100.
And
like,
listen, here's the truth. If you can't afford to make the donation, I'm okay with that. I appreciate you watching the show and commenting and, ACC West Coast Commissioner Gumby. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, this is like, I don't understand this, bro.
Yeah. Eric and Raleigh. God damn it, loaner phone, get a loaner finger. Exactly.
So here's my and I really am trying to be measured here, but
stolen valor.
Yeah, right? This dude's out here trying to say that he paid $100 to the advocates and we're just not seeing it.
Jay McClanahan, hit the pay button and it's solved.
Yeah.
SLC Jack says RJC man must be a Utah grad. Can I just ask,
what are we doing, bro?
How does this always happen on this show? How do we always get into these crazy ass situations? I said it. I did it. You guys hate me. What did I ever do to you? Well, you didn't hit the pay button, prick. That's
what we did to you, bro. Hit the button, bro. It's not that difficult.
And again, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money.
And now, with all due respect, you've disappeared from the comments section when you were so adamant that you were pissed off that we were blocking you.
Self-glossing a contribution fail is embarrassing. Incredible.
That's my point right there, dude. What are we doing?
Loaner phone. Schemers trying to control their little world.
Yes, bro.
Schemer 100%.
Let me here you go.
Schemers trying to control their little worlds. Because it's all part of the plan.
Damn. And I just need to say this out of respect for this cause because I believe in it so much. You just tried to pull a fast one on this show.
It's stolen valor, 100%.
You just tried to steal. You essentially tried to scheme your way into being eligible to win an Amazon gift card by saying we weren't getting the screenshot, and then you tagged us on Twitter and you haven't paid. I'm refreshing the feed right now. And the latest contribution was Brandon Butler 16 minutes ago.
And he says, no, I didn't, but STFU, it was an honest mistake.
Oh, sure. But you still haven't donated, bro.
And loaner phone, again, if you don't have the bread, that's cool. I'm not judging you for making the donation or not making a donation. Not everybody ain't able, and I'm okay with that. That's kind of the whole spirit of the reason we're raising money is because people are having trouble paying for food.
Yeah.
I understand it. It's disingenuous to say that you donated and set up a whole Venmo thing. And then why didn't you just edit out the pay button, dude? Edit out the pay button. But Eric and Interpol, Eric and Quantico, exactly right.
Right.
He's trying to hack the Monty Show.
Now,
he says he did send it. I did send. Stop.
Okay, let's refresh the feed, bro.
Everybody go to the advocates on Venmo. It's public.
Yeah.
You can look at their feed.
I'll close the Venmo app and reopen it.
Jeremiah Champion, I'm just here for the LOLs at this point.
I mean, it's true.
You guys, this is what's amazing to me. Is that I don't know how we get into this,
There it is. He's paid.
He did pay.
He's
Dunkel
paid.
says, I don't believe you until it's proven otherwise. Okay.
Here, I'll take the screenshot.
Send it. That's incredible.
Hang on.
Does he win the $50 then? Jake's like, nah, bro. Is he eligible? You guys, is he eligible to win the $50?
Thank you. Firstly, thank you for donating.
Yeah, $100 is amazing. Thank you.
I don't know if it's $100 or not. It doesn't tell me, for the record. But whatever you donated, thank you for donating.
And he never did send you the screenshot. So technically, I guess he's not eligible.
Yeah.
So.
But I can see it now in the feed, what you're about to see here
Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great. And there it is. Yes, there it is. And I appreciate that.
So thank you for donating.
Robert Carolla right there and it's for the kids, which is great.
Yeah. I think no, see Eric Rogers now DMing me saying he's gonna invoice me for $50 for the investigative time spent.
Our PI, our own private investigator, Eric and Raleigh.
All I'm saying,
boy, did this take a plot twist.
I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. So now that you've donated, it feels a little better.
It does.
But here's my only thing that leaves it gives me a little bit of heartburn. is that this is a very easy process. It's very easy just to go to Venmo, do your donation, take a screenshot, send it to me. That's it. There didn't need to be like
I'm blocked.
Yeah, it didn't need to be unblocked. It didn't need to be there was an
There's
honest
a lot
mistake.
of drama around it.
Like I appreciate the donation, man. I really do. Whatever the amount was, because I can't see the amount. You didn't send me your screenshot, but whatever the amount is, that's great. All I'm asking for is let's not turn it into like World War VII in the comments section because respectfully you couldn't figure out how to donate. Like,
yeah, I mean, Delaric says he's eligible due to 20 minutes of content. Phil Venzer, I think I sent you a screenshot. Oh, Phil Venzer.
Okay, let me check here, man.
Yeah, where'd you send it?
Yeah, where'd you send it? Phil, I don't have a screenshot from you. And I'm checking my hidden requests, and there's none there. So that might be a Twitter thing.
All right. By the way, Pitt SMU this week. Who do you got?
SMU.
I think SMU at home.
You got to take SMU.
I would agree. SLC Jack says, the University of Utah offers Venmo 2 tennis. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Did you see?
I didn't see Phil's yet come through.
Ruben Reyes, bro, I come for the first time in a minute. Oh, I'm sorry.
Dude, you're not hitting 21 times a month, huh?
21 times a month? Like, is that what you... Man, I'm going to check my DMs for a second time.
Okay, I just want to send you this one from... This is not a donation, but this exemplifies why we're doing this. This is a picture that Geoff has sent me.
Okay.
Of his family getting dressed up for Halloween. And I want to show this just to put a face to like families in your local community, like who we're helping. Not to say that Geoff's family per se needs help, but just to see like families out here getting dressed up together, trick-or-treating. Like this is,
Oh, look at you guys.
Yeah, that's great.
Look at those faces. See, I'm somebody that believes big time in like faces. Like, look at the smile on your wife's face.
Geoff said, pick me because we were Emperor's New Groove yesterday.
Oh, that's fun. That is fun. I have a lot of respect for the challenge that it is to raise a family, and seeing you guys and seeing your kids and knowing that you've gone through the back is broken spasms in your life and knowing the challenges that it is today raising a family. That's why this thing we're doing with the Advocates, you guys, is
huge.
Yeah. And Ruben Reyes, good to see you, my guy. I'm glad you're here. Sorry if you walked into a rant. But, listen, I think so. Wait, where are we going with the donations?
Oh, yeah. So we got to pick a winner here.
We got to pick a winner.
So the contenders are
Pedo State,
which is Maury, right?
No doubt. I think Maury's on there. You know what? I tend to give it to Geoff. I think we give it to Geoff. I think with the family, I know obviously Geoff, for those you guys don't know, like A's an Angel fan, poverty team.
Oh, what a loser!
B, he really has been through kind of the grind with his back injury at work, and
spinal,
having to get back in the groove.
Back is broken.
Raising kids, like it's tough. I say we give it to Geoff for for making a donation, but B, for sharing his family picture with us. I say we give it to Geoff.
Okay.
You on board with that?
Yeah, that's cool, man.
All right, Geoff.
Yeah.
DM Jake your email address. We'll send you he sent it to oh boy.
What are we doing?
Send it to SLC Jake.
Okay. Well, I again gonna play the same game we did with Loner Phone. It's somehow when we start calling things out, just magically appears, and it has not appeared. Oh, it has appeared. Okay,
it has appeared.
It just popped up right now. Okay,
I like it.
So this is someone, Kyle Hansmeyer. This is a DM from someone I haven't heard of, which is great.
Awesome.
So I don't think that's Phil, but let me at least send this to you.
Phil, did you Venmo? Because we can pull it off of Venmo as well. Ouch, but fair. That's exactly right.
Let me
ACC Commissioner Gumby says give it to Eric and Raleigh because of his detective work. All right, we'll give Eric and Raleigh 50 as well. Geoff and Eric and Raleigh today are our Amazon gift card winners.
I'm refreshing the Advocates feed really quick.
Phil Venzer's who you're looking for.
Yeah.
Let's see. Why is it so hard? I blame Jack and Marty. Exactly right.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the big thing.
Exactly right. Thank you so much for that $50 donation.
Yeah,
Love
Phil,
it.
I don't think you donated, bro. I don't see you in the feed.
Okay.
Loner Phone was the last donation that I see.
Love it.
Oh, no, there he is. Louis Venzer. He did.
Nice.
He did.
Thank you, Phil. Appreciate that. I sent $50. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate
I'm
you,
glad RLC just gave, but Pitt still sucks. Go SMU. Wow.
Damn.
God, dog. Stadium James.
The
Loner Phone may need to call the Advocates. Yeah, there's been some injuries today.
The one I just sent you,
yes,
this Kyle cat, is Midweek Coug.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that, Midweek Coug.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's huge.
Sorry, we know
$50
you by your YouTube name. Sorry.
Absolutely right. Picking the right photo to message Jake is the not easy part. Okay, there you go.
So we're doing Geoff and Eric and Durham, right?
Exactly right.
Okay.
Geoff and Eric in Quantico. Yes, I did. Yes, you did, Phil.
Yes, you did.
And
We saw
appreciate
it now. I got you. Yeah,
we
saw
appreciate
it.
you.
Thank you.
Gumby says, "Hey, Eric and Raleigh, much appreciated." Thank you very much. He says, "Fan of ACC Legacy Program, University of Cal at Berkeley." There you go. There you go. That's it. Show's over.
That's it.
I'm going to bed. You guys are amazing. The Monty Show presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business. You get hurt at work, get in an accident this weekend. The Advocates, 24/7, 365, and it won't cost you a dime. Theadvocates.com. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.